Just rocking out on the old Super Strat today. Ain't doing too much. Hope you guys are all doing pretty good out there. Been doing okay. Been busy doing projects and stuff. That's why I ain't been making many videos, but I got some big stuff planned coming up. It's gonna take me a little time to get it all together, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. So I'm trying real hard to get some videos out for you, but I was just taking a break. Lucky we're even shooting videos right now, actually. I'll tell you about that in a second. Let me put this guitar down. Hey, yeah, so, well, I just ran to the store, about 10 miles away from where I live. I got an old Jeep Wrangler, an old like 98, an old one, just the little one, you know, but it's just a play toy in the summer. I don't run it in the winter and stuff. It's just something that's easy on gas and stuff, so that's why I like to run it, and it's fun to drive. Well, I said I might as well take that for a ride. I haven't been in that for a while, so the keys weren't in it. I had my cell phone, and the fenders on the Jeep are flat. So I set my phone there to run in and grab my keys. You guys can already put the puzzle together. That's what I did. I left it right on the fender and drove to town to the store. Came back home after I went to the store and figured out I didn't have a phone. So I looked around a little bit and then it clicked. I was like, oh no. And I couldn't remember if I took it off the fender because I was already like stressing. It's hard to concentrate when you're all stressed out like that. So I got back in the Jeep and I found it about 6 miles away in the middle of the road. I am not kidding you. I was going probably 60 when it fell off. I have one of those otter box cases, you know, around it to protect it. Hats off to those guys. The otter box was like scattered on the road in pieces. It's still good. It didn't even break it. It just came apart and my phone was laying right there. I'm surprised I didn't run over it on my way home. Oh, what a day. Anyway, I found it. It all snapped back together. My phone's as good as it was, so just glad I found it because you guys know what that's like. If you lose your phone, it's no joke. I lost one at a Fish concert a few years ago. It's kind of a sore spot with me. Not against Fish, but just phones in general. So anyways, I was nervous. I went and got it. Everything's back in order now, so I just sat down and played a couple runs and riffs on the old Pats caster there. Getting to like that one. It plays good. I love them big humbuckers. Boy, those got a lot of tone in them. They're thick sounding. You have to really tweak your amp to play that guitar because it's just how it is. But some guitars are like that. Anyway, I did meet some kid. I was wearing my Django shirt today, Django Reinhardt. You guys know who he is, Two-Fingered Lightning. If you don't, you better be looking that up, you guitar players. Any musicians, really. He's the guy that really started it. He was, to me, I think Django was the first guy bending notes, and he'd only bend them like a semitone. Willie Nelson modeled his guitar playing after Django. I didn't know that, but when I hear Willie play, I can hear Django, them like semitone bends at the. Check that out sometime. It'll almost give you goosebumps. I never knew, you know, I never put together that Willie, being a country guy, even like researched what Django did, but I think everybody did. I've heard Jimmy Page say Django was the guy too, but anyhow, young kid at the store was running the cash register. I've seen him a couple times, and he noticed my Django shirt. And I was shocked that a kid that young even knew who Django Reinhardt was. And I was like, you know who he is? He's like, yeah. And he said Minor Swing. I knew right then this kid weren't lying, because that's one of his famous tracks. I mean, one of the coolest ones too. So anyways, that was kind of cool. Gave me kind of a little warm up inside that there's still young guys out there checking this stuff out. That's what I did. I was talking with a friend last night. I mean, a lot of records, like, you know, once I found out about a band, I would immediately go backwards and see what they did before. You know, if I heard like the fourth record was the first time I'd heard them, I immediately went back and checked out their first recordings and stuff. And then after a while, I finally, you know, after I researched all these people, I was like, well, now I want to know where they got these ideas from. So I started researching the guys like Django and the people that my heroes learned from, so to speak. So it's pretty cool. It's a big circle. When you go backwards in music and you start talking about guys like this and the jazz guys, when I first grew up, you know, growing up and playing guitar, and you'd see guys playing, you know, like Eddie and Steve Vai and all this fast stuff that was going on, Eric Johnson, and these guys were already doing it. I almost think it kind of went backwards. Not musically, but technique changed, and these guys really knew music well. You know, all aspects of theory, they were you know, masters of it. And growing up, I figured, well, these old guys, you know, they must not be that good, because now we have, you know, Eddie Van Halen and Steve Lukather there and all these great players and stuff. But honestly, those guys knew it too. Eddie and Les Paul were real good buddies. Les Paul was a killer guitar player. And you talk about fast runs. You guys, if you want to really check it out and dig deep, you got to go back to where it started from. And that's probably the best piece of advice I could give any young guy starting out. Don't just start out with today's. That's cool. Stay in the fold of what's going on always. And keep your chops up on that, but start going backwards. And you're going to learn about some of the real cool stuff that went on back then. And that can change your playing in today's world tenfold. I'll just say that. Well, guys, thanks for listening. I was just out taking a break and trying to get my hands loosened up. My hands were some sore this morning. I could hardly even make a fist. I hate that, boy. That makes me awful nervous. I don't want to lose my ability to play these things, so I try to keep them stretched out and keep playing a little every day just to keep stuff moving. I think it's a good idea. Sometimes you got to make time, even if it's 10 minutes. We can all find 10 minutes a day. I ain't saying that's going to make you a virtuoso, but it'll at least keep you moving. Take something, work on it every day for 10 minutes. And then when you get that down, add something to it. And try to work on both in 10 minutes. Keep what you learned up in the first couple minutes and then spend 8 minutes on the new stuff. The other thing too, I did this a lot growing up. I honestly, when I practice guitar, I usually play an electric guitar and I play it unplugged. And because I just like the way I can really tell what my touch is doing on a guitar unplugged, and it doesn't bother anybody, and I just like having one close by to grab. So, and the other thing is, if you're watching TV, have a guitar sitting there. I did this for years. Try to play through the commercials. try to figure it out. Try to figure out what the music is before the commercial's done. That's really good practice. Then all the other little things, you know, liberty, 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 those are licks, right? So figure them out. So all kinds of that stuff, it's just waiting there, and it sounds dull and stupid, but you'll learn some cool stuff doing that, I guarantee it. What was I playing? I was playing the Three's Company theme song the other night. That's really neat. Do 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 do, you know, all that stuff. Some cool stuff there, really. Nobody's gonna grab it and use it. I'm gonna. There you go. All right, guys. Hang in there. We'll see you very soon. Be good.